City Wrestling.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Grind City Wrestling. Whether you believe it or not, we've been here 277 episodes. I am Dustin Starr. Be sure to take that subscribe button to Slap City wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening. Be sure to follow us at Grind City Media. Check out the archives, grindcitymedia.com/podcast. We have interviews with wrestling's biggest stars for the last 277 weeks. Some really good stuff in there. Check it out. Last week, we got all caught up on several weeks of professional wrestling action, and I feel like we still haven't got all caught up. So today, it's the best wrestling we watched all week and then some. Ladies and gentlemen, it's bell time. Introducing first, my co-host, my tag team partner, one of the men in our Grind City Wrestling trio. It's E-Rock Eric McMahon. What's up, E?
What up, brother? Man, I don't know. It just don't work for me, brother. That intro just don't work for me, brother.
Damn, brother.
We need to redo it, or should you just do it? Just show me how it's done.
he didn't get the reference because he didn't watch it this week.
No, I know exactly.
Yeah, brother.
That just
Doesn't work for me, brother. Is definitely something that I understand in the professional wrestling business, and so does our third man in the trio. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Devin Walker, baby. What's up?
I always try to wear something that like it's gonna be the topic of the day for us on the show. So if anybody looks at my shirt, we know what the topic is gonna be. I had another shirt in the closet that I was gonna bring out. I might save that one for next week. But I think I brought this one out for today. So yeah, shout out to WCW Fall Brawl. I don't know what year this is, but yeah, shout out.
Yeah, I was about to say, those of you not watching, it's WCW Fall Brawl, which I always really liked Fall Brawl for some reason, even if it was just because the name was cool. But what is that, 90?
Whichever one was
NWO on it?
no, this is not the NWO.
Okay, so 95 is what I'm going to say.
Whichever one was in Asheville, that's the one that's on my shirt. Asheville.
Right.
September
Be sure
7th.
Be sure to follow Eric on Twitter at @E_MacLife, and be sure to follow Devin at Devin_Walker2. What's new, guys?
Yo, another week, man. A lot of wrestling. We got docs dropping. We got people storylines ending the lead up into pay-per-views. We got stuff happening this weekend. I'm ready to talk about it,
I'm
bro.
just trying to keep my head above water, D-Star.
I was going to say the first question here with a newborn baby. Have you even watched any wrestling? What are you doing here?
That's the real
Hell to the no, no.
Hey,
actually, but I did watch what the topic of the day is because I do not miss those documentaries, man. They are legit. And by the way, go back and watch the Legends Eddie Guerrero. That was tight too.
Yeah, so when we pop onto the podcast here right off the jump, you guys already told me what the topic is. And by the way, I have not seen it yet because I don't have Hulu Live. It's driving me absolutely nuts.
There's so many ways to skin a cat, as my grandma would say.
I am looking.
He's basically telling you to steal.
No,
on the podcast.
I'm not telling him to steal because I did not steal to watch it. I just went to far measures to figure out how to watch it.
Illegally.
Definitely gonna watch it.
No, very legally.
It's something that was even
streaming it illegally. That doesn't mean that you are watching it legally.
No, I watched it on a legal app. I just Googled how to get to this app.
All right, listen, I believe you.
Shout out Philo. Really, I think it's called Philo, by the way. PHILO.
We're talking about the new documentary from Vice, Who Killed WCW. This is such a big thing, I guess, that I was even asked about this on Wednesday when I do Sport 56 with Johnny Radio, and he brought this up, and there's a lot of controversy surrounding this. And of course, we've all seen the Monday Night Wars and all sorts of documentaries, but this one's different. It was produced by The Rock. We're going to get into it here in just a bit. But I wanted to see what was going on this week. Anything new going on this week other than a whole lot of wrestling action?
Oh no, that's wrestling. Let's talk about it. Like I said, I gave you your shit off the air about Brooklyn Brawler. That's fine. But yeah, let's talk about wrestling.
Brooklyn Brawler was awesome on Memphis Wrestling, by the way. And he lost.
Well, I mean,
I haven't seen the Brooklyn Brawler win in 37 years.
Tough.
Well, then why would he win in Memphis?
Right?
You ain't lying.
Anyways, we're going to hit some news and notes. Memphis Wrestling was live this weekend with ECW star Tommy Dreamer and Kid Cash. They packed the place out. I can't wait for you guys to see that on television.
How's Kid Cash looking these days?
Kid Cash showed up. He just had a hip replacement surgery several months back. He's going to be cleared in September, even though he's retired. This dude looked jacked. He looked like he was ready to go. Like, I was excited about September when he's cleared.
Hip replacements these days are like unbelievably effective. My father-in-law, believe it or not, shout out Jim Dunham. He had a hip replacement yesterday. His whole hip replacement. He was in and out in an hour, under an hour of surgery, and walking 3 hours later.
Yes, I was going to say, like, they can walk that day or the next day, so it's absolutely incredible. But Kid Cash looked great. Can't wait for you guys to see him on the show. And, of course, Tommy Dreamer packed the place out. Memphis, Tennessee absolutely loves Tommy Dreamer.
Who doesn't love Tommy Dreamer?
No
like,
kidding.
Shout out, dude.
That was mad love, man. He a real one. You show
He is. We got news and notes. We're going to talk a little Tommy Dreamer, Kid Cash, plus the best wrestling we watched all week. But first, we're going to be headed to AutoZone Park on June 22nd. Check it out.
Saturday, June 22nd is Wrestling Night at AutoZone Park with the Memphis Redbirds, featuring the stars of Memphis Wrestling and the real one, Enzo. Get your tickets right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
Welcome back, and as you guys can see, June 22nd is a Saturday night. AutoZone Park, the real one, Enzo Amore, is joining us for Wrestling Night. Get those tickets at memphiswrestling.tv. Rocky the Rockin' Redbird tag teaming with Enzo? What the heck?
Is he babyface now?
You can't teach that. Bada boom, realest guy in the room. How you doing, Eric? Best wrestling you watched all week. What's up?
Top of the day, I'm gonna
say one thing. You watched one thing all week.
Actually, I did catch MJF's promo last night just because I had to, but that still wasn't the best wrestling of the week. By the way, dude, just straight up, MJF is looking amazing right now.
Man,
I'm going to talk about him in just a minute, and
as hell now.
I might throw a little shade. I'm not sure.
What, you got a cup of haters?
Oh, go ahead. No, throw the hate right now. I want to hear the shade.
Throw it, dog.
Throw the shade.
First of all, I hate that they did not have him on the Dynamite immediately after he came back, right? First of all. Second of all, like, what is going on with his hair?
He's just rebranding.
No, he's bald.
My people's hair, bro.
He's bald. He's like,
dude,
like Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee and Doug Gilbert that spray their hair like Jimmy Hart. They spray paint the top of their head because they're going bald. This dude is in his 20s and losing his hair. What's he going to look like bald?
You just hair shaming people with that ridiculous afro you got, bro.
Go on the internet. You're already on your computer. Look it up and look how heavily spray painted MJF's hair is. And again, I'm just being a hater here, but like, golly.
Oh yeah, it's all over Reddit, by the way. It says it's MJF like, slowly balding.
It's like on his scalp. It's like a bad wig. You know, like when you see people out and you can see. I'm just surprised that like it's not covered up a little differently. And then again, this is me being a hater. Like I'm just looking at the guy going.
By the way, the streets are saying
the first thing that came up was Reddit. On Reddit, is MJF slowly balding?
Yeah, the streets are saying he has hair transplants.
Hey man, I'm gonna do it. I told Maria already, like, if I lose this, brother, I'm definitely getting some hair transplants up there. And it looks like MJ. And again, I'm trying not to be a hater, but that was like one thing I observed is that he had
I've been losing it. I've been losing it ever since I can't. Dude, I don't mind. My hair don't define me, Dustin. It's these that define me.
You're not painting your whole head up there like Jimmy Hart and Jerry Lawler and
dude, Doug Gilbert. I watched him in the back do it, and I'm like, oh my God.
I can't believe it doesn't, like, you're sweating and it runs down like black down your face. Actually, there's a little story where Doug Gilbert was asking, he told me this, he was asking Jerry Lawler, what does he spray in his hair to make it look like his hair is more full? And so King told him, he went and got it. Next time he wrestled, it all like sweated into his face.
So he ribbed the hell out of him?
Yeah, Lawler pulled a rib on him and told him to get the wrong stuff. Anyway, I digress. Eric, best wrestling you watched all week.
I mean, it's gotta be Who Killed WCW episode 1, man. Gotta be. Yeah. And I'll let Devin say the same thing so we can get into the discussion.
There you go, Devin. Best wrestling you watched all week?
I think for me, I think it was obviously that, but I want to give a shout out too for one of the. I think when it comes to the end of this, Monday Night Raw. If you saw Monday Night Raw, we saw last week Liv Morgan kiss Dom at the end of the show, right? And we talk about long-going storylines that last for a very long time. She kissed Dom last week. They come out this week. They kind of start the show with it. Dom comes out. By the way, shout out to Dom to being the one a top heel in wrestling. When this all said and done, I think we're gonna look back at this Dom heel run. It's him being hated, bro. He walked out with the microphone. Every time he tried to talk, the crowd was like, boo! And you can see him like trying to get his words together because he's like, and the crowd's like, boo!
What about the mullet? This disgusting, filthy mullet, the mustache. He is
I love his look. I'm very impressed of like the chubby Dom that first came out, trying to look like his dad and be his dad when they were tag teaming, to now. I mean, listen, we ain't gonna call him a physique guy ever, right? But he looks like his whole gimmick is pretty damn cool. I gotta say,
he knows how to get heat, and that's my point. As Dirty Dom knows how to get heat, and I just want to salute him for this week because that whole thing of him walking out to the ring, trying to give a promo on the way to the ring, and the crowd of Hershey, Pennsylvania, just shitting on him as he walks out to the ring was Chef's kiss heel work.
I got a question for you guys.
Sometimes it's a little bit frustrating when you're trying to cut a promo to tell a really good story and the people won't let you. So it's good to have heat, but sometimes it's like, even at the
we do that to you every week, Dustin.
Yeah, even at Memphis Wrestling, Devin, you've been there. The crowd is so loud, it's hard to hear that promo, and some of it's very important for the next steps in the story or later on in that show. So it's kind of like you can't tell them, "Hey guys, calm down, let's listen to this." But man, like it's hard.
Hey, yeah, I got a question, and I think Dustin's best to answer this.
Oh,
and it's got to deal with Cody. He is such a white hot baby face, right? I mean, I'm talking throwback baby face to like the 90s baby face. Like, it's almost a revert that the crowd is wanting, that like just that pure baby face. Is that sustainable?
No, he'll be a heel before it's over with.
No, but I mean, like, for how long? Like, yeah, I mean, obviously it's got to evolve, but I mean, do you see this lasting a year with the crowd being just so, or is he going to start being John Cena sucks type thing? Because John Cena was that way and people got sick of it fast.
I think the thing that really made Cody be that prime time just star was when he wrestled with a torn pec. Because everybody could see the visual of the bruising and everything, and he got through it, and then he came back, and he was awesome, better than ever. I think he's got a little bit of legs, especially as we go towards The Rock or the Roman Reigns rematch, or whatever they're doing in SummerSlam or WrestleMania 41 or whatever. He's got to be able to sustain it till then, but I think the torn pec made him tough. Usually these white hot, on fire baby faces, they're not looked at as that tough like Cody, but Cody, I think that the torn pec made Cody tough to some of the fans.
So you think it's got legs for a while, is what you're saying?
I do think it has legs at least till WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and again, I mentioned Johnny Radio. He's not a wrestling fan, so he looks at Cody and he's like, man, this guy kind of looks like a villain. It's like, yeah, he does look like he's got the neck tattoo. He's all, dressed up almost Lex Luthor-like in Superman or whatever. So he does look like a heel, but also he looks like a, baby face. And so that's what we're getting right now. Before we go too far, the best wrestling that I watched all week, I think it's definitely got to be the NXT that Jordan Grace, she wore the shirt out. It was awesome. Broke the internet. She had a big match, won it. Can't wait to see what's going on next. Has the WWE purchased TNA Wrestling? What'd you say?
She squashed her, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
TNA champion coming up squashing some NXT talent. That's crazy.
Now, I'm just throwing stuff out here because this is, we're talking news, notes, rumors, and all that kind of stuff. I have not seen any events from TNA Wrestling after August. And I don't know if they usually release those a little bit faster but it looks like I don't know, like to a regular wrestling fan that's looking up these things, is WWE involved here somehow? Is WWE in some sort of partnership, or are they purchasing TNA? And again, I'm just making stuff up, but if there's not any shows scheduled and you got all this interpromotional stuff going and you've got, Triple H tweeting and tagging at TNA Wrestling, I mean, we have never seen some of this stuff before, but I thought it was really cool for Jordynne Grace not only to show up and have a match, had the title there, but the NXTNA shirt that she had on, I thought was absolutely awesome. All right.
Even doper part of that, by the way, did you see that they recreated the little spot with her and Shawn Michaels?
I did. Chef Michaels.
Yeah, so apparently the little girl in that spot was that Jordynne Grace?
I don't think it was Jordynne Grace, but I know what you're talking about. I saw the tweets.
Yeah, they recreated that spot. So shout out to Jordynne Grace, man, getting some shine. Her OnlyFans might not be as great anymore, but she's doing great in the ring.
Oh, boy. All right. Forbidden Doors on Sunday, June 30th. You can watch absolutely free at Dave & Buster's in Memphis. Plus, I'll hook you up with a free power card. Also, Saturday, July 6th, it's announced that Collision is coming to Landers Center. All right. So we've talked about a little bit of the best wrestling we watched all week. Let's dive into it. So who killed WCW? There's a lot of controversy around this. Now, I'll admit I have not seen this yet because, again, I don't have Hulu Live and Vice, but I'm going to watch it. And there was a lot of controversy when this thing was first announced that The Rock is the producer of this documentary, and that Ric Flair, he was pissed off that he was not a part of it. How do you not call the Nature Boy Ric Flair to talk about WCW? Then also I've heard that Hulk Hogan was not involved in this as well. So I ask you guys the questions, and I kind of feel like I know a little bit of the answer. But why would they not reach out to two of the biggest stars in WCW history? E?
Because that story has been told 400,000 times, and that's not the story they're telling. We've heard that story from all those people. Yeah, it's Eric Bischoff's fault. Yeah, it's this. Yeah, Hogan had creative control. Blah, 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 blah. What this show is going into is that it is so much deeper than a surface level, creative control and or the talent destroyed it. Yeah, it just is. And that's why.
I think the reason, my theory of why Hogan's involved, because I think Hogan's the reason why he's the one that killed WCW. Because like in the story, so like as the episode goes on, also I learned something. Like I always feel like I learned something when I watch these docs, because I watched the Monday Night Wars. I loved it, and then when I saw that this was premiering, I was like, I have to watch it because I love WCW, right? And as I'm watching the doc, I didn't know that WCW was the first promotion to really kind of highlight the backstage fights, right? So throughout the doc, the Kevin Nash fight, right? When they took over WCW, when he picked up Rey Mysterio,
legendary
backstage, and Rey Mysterio's like, "Yo, throw me through the window," and Kevin Nash is like, "Bro, I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah.
So he just
like, that's real glass.
He's like, that's real. Yeah. He's like, yo, I'm not
that's one. That's one growing up that I remember watching with my dad back, I guess, what was it, 96, 97, something like that. And I was watching with my dad, and my dad made such a big deal about how big Kevin Nash was to pick up a grown man like Rey Mysterio and like throw him like a lawn dart right into the side of that trailer. My dad was selling it so hard, and me as a kid watching, he was selling it so hard that I thought, oh man, is this real? The NWO has literally taken over the show?
Well, to piggyback on Devin's point with that, and it's not necessarily like the first one to do it backstage, but they were the first one to have it produced but yet not produced at the same time, because the way they explain it, which is awesome, it's like, hey, something's going on in back. We don't cut to the shot to a perfect shot of it in back happening. It's like the camera running and jiggling. And
Love it.
And that's like the brilliance of I guess Bischoff and somebody saying like, we got to make it look real.
Didn't Jimmy Hart run out like during a match? They interrupted a whole match, and Jimmy Hart was like, something's going on backstage.
They're attacking him, baby. They're attacking him, baby.
Yeah, so at this time he was a heel, stooging off the other heels that are doing something bad backstage. So it was almost like, hey, somebody help. It just felt so real as a kid watching. I can't even remember how old I was, but it couldn't have been any more than 15 or less. But gosh, it was so good.
Oh yeah, shout out WCW. But my main point in this is like when we talk about who killed WCW, right? And I guess this is the part we really want to talk about, because I think this is the part that like when I watched that first episode, in the way they produced it, where they talked about it, with the way Bischoff was breaking it down, the way Kevin Nash is breaking it down. they go with the Starrcade, right? Starrcade match where they told a long story with Sting and NWO. And then they said that they were worried about Sting was worried. Sting was like worried about Hogan. And they go into the match and then
I'm calling bullshit on that. I'm calling bullshit.
You think so?
Dude, I think that when Sting showed up, and again, I haven't seen the doc, I think that when Sting showed up and Hogan noticed that Sting wasn't as jacked as what he used to be, you know, because Sting was, before he turned to the Crow Sting, he was in, I don't want to say much better shape, but he was jacked. The blonde-haired Sting was like a bodybuilder looking guy, and then the Sting that came back, he had his front covered up, he had the sleeveless on, and he wasn't as big or as impressive. And I think that Hogan's ego took over and said, hey, this guy hasn't even been working. Why are we putting him over? And I think that Hogan was just selfish as hell and then wanted to be. That was the worst. Starrcade 97 is the biggest black eye on WCW that there is. It was.
You think that's bigger than the finger poke?
Yes, it was the start.
I think it's the beginning of what they say in the doc. It's the beginning of the end, because it's like, yo, you can tell that Hogan and Bischoff are literally controlling everything.
Why on earth, in any scenario of the story, would Hogan beat Sting in that situation? And he did. He pinned him 1, 2, 3, and then they had Bret Hart, who was debuting, stop the bell ringer. So you telling me that the match isn't official because the guy didn't ring the bell, and then they restart? The whole thing was the drizzling.
Well, no, he was saying that. What it was is Bret Hart was saying that it was a fast count.
It wasn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, it wasn't.
Count. It was
but apparently, it was originally supposed to be a fast count, and then
Why?
Hogan pulled his creative control. But I guess the memo never got to Bret Hart.
Terrible. It's absolutely or Nick Patrick, who was the referee. You're talking about a year-plus storyline.
18 months.
The biggest babyface in the history of your business, other than Goldberg, who came, 97, 98 was the biggest thing ever. Yeah. Sting coming back in his first match and you beat him. You literally pinned him 1, 2, 3. And then you try to tell all the fans, no, that really didn't happen. It was a fast count. Everybody knows it wasn't a fast count. And then you had Sting go over for the title. And then I think they stripped him of the title and they had to do it all over again. They literally messed up that whole freaking thing.
So do you blame Hogan?
Absolutely.
I blame Hogan and Bischoff for sure.
Yes.
If we're talking about,
well, you can't even blame Bischoff because as part of the contract,
That's so stupid.
He was starting.
It's like,
go ahead.
I was just saying, it's like me hiring a big star and then me listening to every single thing that guy does, and it takes us all the way out of business. That's what Bischoff did.
So that's what I'm saying.
Allegedly to you, but
WCW. Hulk Hogan killed WCW, man.
Listen, I hear what you're saying. Let's watch more because you know what? Where there is smoke, there is fire. Like once Ted Turner sold TNT, diluted and divested his shares, he didn't have control. The only reason WCW even became a thing is because Ted Turner endured 10 years of losing money on it because he liked wrestling. So once he was out, none of these new execs, or at least the show is going to allude to this, that none of the new execs wanted wrestling on their platform. And so they let it die. And yeah, you can talk listen, WWF has gone through some horrendously shitty booking and matches and all this, and it didn't kill it. But you also had somebody fighting for it in Vince McMahon. If nobody is fighting for it in the offices, then of course it's gonna die. So I just say, yes, did Hogan have a lot to create a crummier product than it should have? 100% yes, with his contract. Did he kill it? Remains to be seen, but I'm gonna say no.
A lot of the worst moments in WCW history had to do with Hulk Hogan. So
and a lot of the best ones as well, brother.
One of the best ones too. So
that's a good point too, Ian.
That's a good double-edged sword. I just think that, bro, it's just Hogan as being in control as he was. It's just, come on, man. What are we doing? Y'all were white hot for 18 months, bro. And that's how you.
But that's part in WWE has done this as well. When you start something, you don't know how you're going to end it. And that becomes a problem, right? That doesn't mean it killed the whole brand. That doesn't mean it killed the whole promotion or the show. It just means they effed that up in a period of time. everything is overcomable if you want to put the resources and the time into it. And I'm just saying, I don't think TNT, Time Warner, AOL wanted to put the time and resources into it.
They did not. All right.
So you think it was the producers? As we break down,
I think it was the money men. Everything can be overcome. Everything, especially something that was getting 8 million viewers a week.
Yeah, creative can usually be overcome. It can, unless it's just terrible over and over again. All right, I can't wait to watch Who Killed WCW, but one thing that I am not looking forward to, and Eric, you're going to love this. It's like I'm a fan of him, but I hate hearing him talk because he's so negative. Like, it drives me freaking nuts. And I'm talking about Kevin Nash.
Oh, he's so he's the best.
You know how judges need to recuse themselves? I almost need to recuse myself from this conversation. The guy's a jerk, man.
Total. Like, even looking at him on Instagram, and I'm a fan, so I follow him, and I'm trying real hard to stick with him. But just the things that he says and the way that he says it, and it's so arrogant, and I just don't like it. So when I'm watching Who Killed WCW, I am going to be rolling my freaking eyes every time Kevin Nash appears. And it's not because he did the thing at Wrestling Night and was a jerk. That's a little bit of it, but then compound that onto him just hating everything all the time. I'm sorry, Nash, but you did not create all that. You know what I mean?
The Oz shit was funny, bro. The Oz shit was funny. When they were like, they want him to be the Oz, that shit was funny.
Hey, click this, his podcast. I listened to 10 minutes of the first episode, and I said, I can't take this shit. I turned it off. I just can't take it.
All right, we got a couple of minutes left, so let me hit a couple topics. Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Title. Is Will Ospreay just going to win all the belts? Do we care about this?
So, whatever, bro. If he beats Swerve, bro, I whatever, bro. Because they have a show here in, July what?
July. That's going to be on July the 6th.
On this show right now, bro. If Swerve Strickland does not have the belt when they come to Memphis, I'm going to riot.
A one-man riot?
One man riot.
One pitchfork by myself.
All right, MJF, hit or miss?
He's always a hit for me, buddy.
He's wrestling Roosh. He came back. He started a program with Roosh, which I don't dislike because I do like Roosh. Roosh is not nearly as big a star as MJF, so we already see the writing on the wall. They're just going to let MJF pick up a big victory here, get a little side storyline before they put him back with Swerve or whatever the case may be. But so far, is he a hit or miss? He's got the Triple H jacket on. He's got the spray painted hair. He's literally pandering to the fans and I'm done shilling. I'm done shilling. Is he a hit or a miss, guys? Come on.
MJF's always a hit, bro. He is the cash cow of AEW, no matter what anybody wants to say.
Listen, let me ask you this, Dustin. Okay, I tuned in for his promo yesterday. It's really the only thing I had time to watch, and I fast forwarded it to him. Now, whether it was the greatest of all time and this, that, and the other, he's what's generating interest for me with AEW.
Joe Murphy, the best photographer in the NBA. Mm-hmm. He texted me yesterday and said, he sent me a reel on Instagram and said, who is this guy? It was an MJF promo.
Yeah. So I turned on AEW and I walked to the bathroom, and when I came back, MJF was standing in the ring. So I rewinded it so I could watch his entrance and watch the promo in full. So although I feel like it's not quite my favorite or what it was still good enough for me to rewind it and watch it all the way. AJ Styles pulled a Mark Henry over the week. Did you see that? I know especially Devin. What Mark Henry did was absolutely awesome. AJ Styles literally duplicating the whole thing.
I did not see that, but I'm still mad that they changed his music, so I'm not really whatever.
What?
Well, they faked the retirement is what they did with AJ.
Oh, with the same suit and everything. I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, same suit and everything. Also, I want to give a big shout out to WWE talent scout Gabe Sapolsky. He was in town for our tryout and our recruiting seminar over the weekend. We had a packed house, and man, lots of really cool stuff going to happen in Memphis, Tennessee. And then also on August 25th, I got to remind you that the Sandman will be here in Memphis Wrestling, drinking beer and swinging a kendo stick. Is there anything that I left out, guys?
Come out. You like the I almost said the bad word. You like AJ Styles' new music, bro?
Talking to you, Eric?
Yeah, because I said I hate his new music, and he said what?
No, I love the original.
That's what I'm saying. Like they changed his music.
I'm just a southern. Yeah. No, yeah, no.
You don't want none. You don't want none.
Yeah, that was bro. When we talk about, bro, I had whatever. We got 3 minutes left, but people talk about theme songs and wrestling's not being hits anymore. You had a hit, bro. You changed it. Be better, W.
Did have it hit. All right, guys, we're running low on time. Catching all new Memphis Wrestling Friday and Saturday on WMC Action News 5+. This week, every single championship is on the line, including the Game Changer Wrestling World Championship. Do not miss it. 11 p.m. on Friday night, WMC Action News 5+, 11 a.m. on Saturday, and then also youtube.com/@Memphis Wrestling. We have a full schedule coming up. Check it out.
Join us for Memphis Wrestling Live, Saturday, June 22nd. It's Wrestling Night at AutoZone Park with the Memphis Redbirds, featuring the stars of Memphis Wrestling and the real one, Enzo. Sunday, June 23rd, TNA wrestling star AJ Francis returns to Memphis Wrestling. Plus, former WWE star, the real one, Enzo. Sunday, June 30th, watch AEW Forbidden Door with us at Dave & Buster's in Memphis. It's free to watch. Sunday, July 14th, don't miss Memphis Wrestling Live. You never know who might show up. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
Welcome back. We're running low. Eric, quickly, what you got going on this weekend?
Trying to keep my head above water, bro. That's it. You're right. Don't worry. You will be there. Give it about 4 months.
Well, the due date is October 5th. When does the preseason start?
Shit.
Like probably the 10th.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, Devin, what you got coming up? My wife's going to hate that, by the way.
Sounds like this man did that on purpose. But I'm just going to be watching wrestling as always, bro. Really nothing planned this weekend. Like I said, I'll be watching a lot of wrestling. We can talk about it next week. I'm excited for the second episode of Who Killed WCW. I might even go back on the Peacock and watch some of those old episodes from '97 just so I can just watch and see how they did creatively with that whole situation. Because '97, I was 3 years old, bro. So,
hey, you're going to really love those undercard matches because the cruiserweights were so good back then.
I remember Juventud Guerrero. Shout out Juventud. Psychos.
Even La Parca. Remember the chairman, La Parca? He would always do the dancing and stuff.
Shout out
really good
stuff, man.
All right, we're officially all out of time. I am Dustin Starr. He's E-Rock Eric McMahon. And for Devin Walker, baby, this is Grind City Wrestling. Who killed WCW? And why was it Hulk Hogan? We'll see you next week.
Damn right, brother.
Brother. That don't work for me, brother.
I get the blood and the sweat, but I never shed a tear. Earn every ounce of respect, but I make it very clear. I'm on a mission, my path are laid out before me. I'll be destroying our curves in the course, and this is your warning.